Good morning, everyone. It's Tony here. We are at the Woodstock Doubletree Hotel in Cape Town, and we are here for the 1 week Train the Trainer workshop. Here, I have one of our participants with us. So, please tell us about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tony, for inviting me for this quick discussion. My name's Kennedy Senagi from Kenya. I work with the International Center for Insects Physiology and Ecology, that's ICIPE. I work there as a postdoctoral fellow. My background is in data science and machine learning. So it's a pleasure to be here with you because I'm finding it quite exciting to be trained as a trainer of trainers because part of one of the projects that I'm working on involves a lot of training and capacity building, especially in the space of health. And we as I as Kennedy in that project, or rather personnel in that project, are having a challenge in terms of structuring the curriculum, having a formal way of training and testing competencies in data science for health. So I find this workshop quite exciting because it's really trying to streamline that kind of understanding and how best to train personnel in data science so that they can apply that in the space of health in Kenya, especially in Kenya, where we have many hospitals and we have a lot of data, but how do we leverage that data to build innovative tools? So that's why I'm here.
Okay, great. So, Kennedy, you said that you work in data science. What type of data do you work with? I know Kenya has a lot of communicable and non-communicable disease. What type of sample do you sort of collect and try to analyze?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Just to give an example to clarify that kind of perspective, we, for example, currently working on a neglected tropical disease, on a disease called visceral leishmaniasis, and we have the pleasure to have data from the Ministry of Health in Kenya.
Okay.
From a specific region. So the question is, how do we leverage, how do we inform policy, how do we inform the stakeholders on the hotspots of this disease, the potential risk and potential and future risks, and such kinds of critical understanding of this kind of disease, including even the dynamics and the actually spatial dynamics. So just kind of an understanding through data science and trying to inform health, it's quite something. It's quite something because people are suffering, when they have data in their hands. So that should not continue. Here just to have a speck of that space.
Right. So essentially, you are able to collect samples from different parts in Kenya, and then you're working closely together with the Ministry of Health to actually be able to get a variety and large enough sample size. But once you have all of the sample, you have it in your data set, you still need to analyze that. And that's where a shortage of resources. You don't have enough human capital. You're doing your postdoctorate. You don't have enough individuals in the lab that can actually help you to analyze this data. And on top of that, you want to sort of build a model almost to predict where the next outbreak is going to be, where the next hotspot is going to be. So you can actually inform policymakers so if they can do, mandatory lockdowns or if they can.
Interventions.
Yeah, certainly. So, these technologies do exist and there are, skilled individuals who's currently doing this work, but we obviously need to bring that to Kenya, to your institution so that they can upskill the individual so they're able to better usage of the samples and the resources.
Yes, for sure. Samples is one thing, but again, we try to utilize existing data.
Okay.
Because the Ministry of Health, they collect data about the disease.
Yes.
The patient's information.
Yes.
The kinds of intervention in terms of the drugs.
Right.
So they know where the patients came from. Quite a lot of information, even the age of the patients.
Okay.
especially location is very important because this disease is transmitted by a certain insect, they're called vectors. So just knowing even where these vectors are, where are these insects, why are they there? Yeah, what makes them to be there?
Yes.
And then there are dynamics where we're seeing new foci of this disease. Why
Okay.
is this disease moving from this location to another location?
Right.
So the health practitioners see this, they have all this data,
Right.
but now mining the insights,
Okay.
can we go deep into research again, not just doing some quick analytics? So yes, quick analytics is good to know the new areas and the most affected areas there. But again, even just building the predictive models, as you said.
Right.
So we are moving all the way down. So yes, so we have a variety of training that we are doing. One is for the technical guys, others are quick workshops for health practitioners.
Right.
So if you want to run a workshop, how best do you structure it?
Yes.
So that's why these train of train is very important. So how do you structure that workshop? Because they come. So yes, collecting data is one thing, but how well do you structure it
Okay.
for analytics?
Right.
Yes. So how do you structure your database such that in future people find it easy to come and
Easily accessible,
access that data?
interoperable,
Exactly.
fair.
Yeah. So if it's a medic, we don't really want them to be data scientists.
Yeah.
But what kind of skills can we give them such that when they go back, we really need to structure this data like this, or
Got
we need
it.
to recruit these kinds of personnel so that this data is well aligned for future use.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's sort of move on to the next part. Let's talk about you. You obviously come from a computational background.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you had throughout your career or your studies?
Yeah, computation is quite wide.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started off as a software engineer, then I shifted into data science. Data science are equal software engineers, but with a bit of some statistics. So, well, some of the challenges I face because I work with a variety of data, including not just well done data in CSVs or Excel sheets, but also images,
Okay.
videos.
Okay.
So those are quite computational hungry, pieces of data sets. So like images, for you to train a model, a deep learning model, they are really computational hungry.
Right.
And a simple laptop, standard laptop can't do that computation. So some of the challenges are the computing resources. So you have to,
Yes.
to go to the cloud. That comes at a cost.
Yes.
So that you're able to run these models efficiently. So also again, the skills, technology is moving quite fast,
Yes.
and we really need to upscale our skills. You close your eyes, you open, you hear a new version of ChatGPT is out there.
Yeah.
After a year, you hear about a new deep learning model that is working in a certain way.
Okay.
You hear about the multi-models. So the space is moving so fast, and you really need to upscale your skills very fast, very, very fast. So that's another challenge. There's a lot of research going on. Perhaps we piggyback with the new innovations coming from Europe and the US and China, all these. So perhaps Africa is more of a consumer of technology. So we also need to move into the space of being innovative. And yeah, we should be proud of perhaps another marvelous technology coming from Africa. So why can't we have another transformer, cutting edge transformer from Africa? Yeah. So, but all the same, yes, there are quite a number of challenges.
Okay. And then sort of you mentioned, there's a lot of innovation coming from the global north.
Yeah.
AI, there is big data, and Africa itself is struggling to sort of keep up. We lack the hardware resources, we lack the human resources.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be that gap.
Yeah.
And I think what we are trying to do is slowly close the skills gap,
Yeah.
at least give opportunities to individuals so they're able to, learn and absorb knowledge out there. But I think, from your own perspective or working at your own institutions, what do you think is a good way to, better inform whether it's institutions or the local community to share knowledge?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you're right. So yes, sharing knowledge is very important, and we appreciate the idea of citizen science, where we believe that, for example, if we're talking about drugs, we have this. We've been treated on herbs for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So what is that they do that, and we have off-the-shelf medicine. So it's a matter of trying to understand how they've been doing it and picking that and manufacturing it. So yes, sharing knowledge is one thing in terms of. So that's just an example in the health space, but also in computation. Then the skill personnel should pass that skill to the new generation
Okay.
of
Transfer of knowledge.
transfer of knowledge.
Sure.
And I really appreciate right, like in Kenya right now, data science is a big thing.
Okay.
Many universities started curriculum on BSc in data science,
Oh, okay.
MSc in data science and statistics. So the space in Kenya is really appreciating data science as a standalone program.
Yes. Yeah.
Not really computer science as it was, or blah blah blah, or statistics. So right now they're merging programming and statistics, putting it together, making a course called data science.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a way of sharing knowledge and trying to empower the space of data science and analytics and machine learning. And I tend to believe in the next 5 years in Kenya, things will be big in the space of data science, and we should see some tremendous change in terms of the kinds of innovations that will come
Okay.
out of that space.
No, certainly. I think, as you mentioned, Kenya has one of the youngest population group on the whole African continent. So I think as we come to the end of this, I want to ask you, what advice would you share with our, younger viewers or someone who's coming into the field of science? Would you share some wisdom with them?
Yeah, so it's an exciting field for sure. I've been there for quite a while, and I really find it fancy. Each and every day I wake up, I see new things and some new innovations that are really transforming how how things are done. So yes, the younger generations, it's good. One, you need to love programming and some maths and statistics. So that's how data scientists think. You need to be logical in everything you're doing, because all solutions should be logical in a way. It should be optimized. So if you really want to pursue data science, then you really need to pick up programming. You really need to program. Just have that passion of building. If you from the novice of C++, C, and then perhaps in the future pick up to these advanced programming languages. Start simple and you pick up. You don't just start by building the models, but by start with the ground of the fundamentals in programming and in statistics. Then all this after a while will come to merge, and for sure there's a big potential in data science and machine learning. I don't know what the future lies, but there's a big potential.
No, I get what you're saying. Start off with simple coding, and as you learn more programming languages, that will facilitate you to see the opportunity, whether you speak data or AI.
Yeah. And well, data is everywhere. But just about everywhere. Like today morning, the weather. How does the weather look like? That's the temperature is blah blah blah. The humidity is this. That's data. Yeah, in this space, it's conditioned. Some kind of weather parameters.
Yes.
That's data. We breathe in, we breathe out. That's different traits. That's data. So data is just about everywhere. It just depends on how you look at it and what kind of innovative solutions you can build from all this. Yeah.
Certainly, how you use better data and be more efficient.
For sure, in agriculture, in agriculture, you plant your crops on certain soil types, conditions. But in just about everywhere, data is everywhere. At transactions, you go to the ATM, you are drawing money at a certain time. How much you are spending? You have your own
Patterns.
preferences. In the e-commerce space, you go to social media space, you post your things there. That's data. So data is everywhere. So it just depends on how well and how fast you're thinking around this space, and
Okay.
the kind of analytic models that you want to build.
Okay. No, Andre. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.